Back here at the Smith Fitness Center, Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines getting set for the start of Army and Air Force, the men's edition. And it should be a pretty good matchup. Both of these squads come in to the game with a 1-1 overall record. I think both teams' coaches, when I talk to them, Joel, a little bit leery of this game, knowing that you'd rather go into the second half of this double round robin with a winning record.
Absolutely. So this is a very important game for both teams to try to get above 500 in the winners column. So it should be a very competitive, evenly matched up.
All right, we're going to send it over to the public address announcer for the starting lineups.
Air Force versus the Army. So, introducing the starting five for the Air Force. We have at point guard, number 1, Draylen Perkins. At shooting guard, we have number 11, Matthew Dowry. At small forward, we have number 5, Jacavon Leffridge. At power forward, we have number 4, Jalen Tolliver. At center, we have number 21, Josh Chichester. That is your starting five for the Air Force men's team. Now for the Army starting five. We have at point guard, Colton Ray, number 30. At shooting guard, we have number 11, Jakari Chambers. At small forward, we have number 1, Mark Bowie. At power forward, we have number 23, Akeem Echols. And at center, we have number 25, Randall Haley. And for our officials for this game, we have Brandon, Mike, and Greg as our officials.
Starting lineups have been introduced on the floor for Air Force. They're going to go with their usual starting lineup. Point guard Draylen Perkins gets the call. He's averaging 21.5 points a game. Shooting guard is Matt Doherty. He's a captain out of Canada Air Force Base, New Mexico. In the front court, it's Jalen Tolliver, Kevo Leffridge, and Josh Chichester for Army. Point guard Colton Ray leads the offense. The shooting guard is Jakari Chambers. And in the front court, it's Bowie, Akeem Echols, and Randall Haley. And look at these two big guys jumping in the front. It's Chichester and Haley, and away we go, Joel. Should be fun.
It's going to be fun. Air Force's size versus Army's guard play. And Air Force seeks to establish itself early on the interior with the putback.
Tolliver with the first bucket of the game. 18 seconds in. And Colton Ray brings the ball up court for Army. And last night, you were here, Joel, a game-high 29 points for Colton Ray.
You know, as Colton Ray goes, so does Army. He's the catalyst for his team. Very aggressive offensively, as you saw there in the first possession.
Turnover for Air Force. Akeem Echols underneath, can't get the follow. And Draylen Perkins out with the ball. This game is moving in a hurry. Chichester from 18. And Matt Doherty can't get the finish. A little bit of a track meet.
Up and down so far as both teams try to establish themselves and take control of the game.
And Haley just couldn't get the lid to open on the basket. Reminiscent of the Army women in that first game.
And, you know, it's early in the game right now, but, you know, those missed baskets can come back to haunt you later in the game. Every possession is important.
Turnover from Perkins. And so both teams with a couple of turnovers here already in the early going. Army in the home whites. Air Force in the blue and gray with the white trim.
Couple of on-ball screens set for Colton Ray. Finds Haley in the post, just misses the baseline jumper.
Tolliver down with the rebound for Air Force. Tolliver in and out. Tolliver had 7 points in yesterday's game. And Colton Ray delivers a three.
The double ball screen to his right hand, and he pulls up and drains it. I love the pace that Colton Ray plays. He's never in a hurry, deliberate, delves, knows what he wants. Good offensive player.
He had 2 triples in last night's game. Perkins tries to answer, in and out. Both teams putting up shots in a hurry here.
They are. They're getting up and down. Colton Ray draws the foul there.
Kevo Lethbridge, an airman first class out of Joint Base Langley Eustis, whistled for the first foul of the game at the 17:31 mark. Army with the 3-2 lead here just underway. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines with you from the Smith Fitness Center at Fort Moore, Georgia.
Again, Dan, you have to value possession of the basketball. A little loose right there by Army, but they get it back.
Doherty not able to finish. And so here comes Army. Ray, Euro step in the lane, nice dump off, and a foul. Trying to create for his teammates.
Colton Ray came down, change of pace, change of direction, finds his teammate underneath, and they earn a trip to the line. Great find by Colton Ray.
So Bowie at the free throw line for Army. Bowie had 14 points, Joel, in the game last night. 4 of 4 from the free throw, including 9 points in the second half.
Army has great guard play. Their guards are very capable scorers.
Misses the first free throw there. Army for the tournament shooting 72% from the free throw line as a team.
And Bowie's very active. He was always around the action last night. We called his name a lot. Expect to see a lot of that today as well.
A whistle, and we're going to have a couple of quick substitutions. 3 minutes in here, as Akeem Eccles and Chaburn's going to come out. Donald Tension is in the game for Army, as well as Marvin Tucker. Colton Ray for 3, got it.
Great inbounds play by Army. Colton Ray was the inbounder, got it in, little screen-to-screen action, and he drains the 3.
So Ray starting off the game like he did yesterday. Super hot. There's a steal by the big man, Randall Haley. Numbers for Army, and good job by Matt Doherty of Air Force.
Yeah, great transition defense by Doherty coming back, but 4-on-1, you'd like to see yourself convert that fast break opportunity.
That's got to make your coach smile when you break up the 4-on-1.
Absolutely. Transition defense is very important.
Jamal Lawson for Air Force. Looks like he's going to check in here for Chichester. I don't know which one of those dudes is bigger.
Brutes on the inside.
Yeah. Perkins almost knocked that away. Tension goes to the basket. That one just won't get in. Haley, though, underneath, squibbles it in.
Absolutely. The lefty, he had a steal earlier on the offensive glass there. He's active.
Traveling violation, turnover, Air Force. Brad Boyd into the game for Air Force. 8-2 start from Army.
Yeah, they're off to a great start. Looking to extend the lead here in their half-court set.
That was the right look. Tucker just couldn't finish the shot. And Brad Boyd going coast to coast, puts it up and in.
Lawson cleared the way for Boyd there.
Haley draws the foul.
Haley is very aggressive early, trying to establish himself offensively on the inside for Army.
That foul on Jalen Tolliver. That's his second, so 2 quick fouls on him. As the first free throw for Haley goes down, and he has 3 quick points here to start the game. Makes both. Six-point lead for Army. So we'll see if Air Force is able to start getting into some half-court offense here.
Absolutely. A little 4-high set here. Let's see what they do out of it.
Baseline, Tolliver gets double-teamed. Quick hands from Army down there. That one's in and out for Lawson. Right idea. They say A for intent, C for execution.
Again, the responsibility of the pass goes to the passer. That's a turnover. Sometimes you got to turn those down.
This Army team lost by 3 points in yesterday's game. They opened up the tournament, did Army, beating the Marine Corps by 9 points. Colt Ray had 18 points in that game. Haley had 17. Army opened up that game with a 13-2 run. Great way to start their tournament. So sitting with a 1-1 record. And another turnover for Air Force.
Whether it's a 4-high set or a horn set, Air Force likes to bring their post players out to the elbow to start their offense.
5 minutes gone by here in the first half between Army and Air Force. That Air Force defense trying to push the Army offense onto the perimeter. Harris. That's pulled down by Brad Boyd.
Air Force defensively switches perimeter handoffs and guard-to-guard screens. Great defensive possession there.
Army is swarming right now defensively, Joel. As tempers flare just a little bit.
They're swarming, but when you get the trap set like that and you have the offense contained, you don't want to reach and bail them out and get too aggressive, overzealous, and foul.
And that is what happened. Bowie whistled for the foul. First team foul on Army here. And a substitution for Air Force. Tim Pierce makes his first appearance in the game. He's a staff sergeant out of Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri.
And coach says this is a guy who can get buckets, so we'll see if he's a spark off the bench. They go to him immediately in the mid-post.
And he gets double-teamed, and that defense you talked about does its job. That time, they get another turnover from Air Force. Tension. Wow.
In the secondary break, that trail spot is so valuable. Ray finds him, and he cashes in for 3.
And then turns around and commits the foul on defense. But you can kind of get a sense of that Army mentality in this game after that tough loss last night. They are bringing it today.
They are very active. They are trying to get off to a better start, and they have last night. So great start by Army, 13-4, up 9, 6 minutes into the game.
9-point lead for Army here, 13:56 to play in the first half. Air Force and Army, always a good battle. The women just had a great game, and now the men. Don't forget, Marine Corps and Navy, that's the nightcap. Women first, and then the men. Colton Ray with 6 points for Army, leads all scorers, but that was a nice rebound from Austin Parker.
And again, you see both post players high, little post-to-post screen action, and Parker drains it off a Lawson ball screen.
Eccles in trouble. Gets bailed out by his teammates. Now on the low block and a tie-up, and they are going to call a jump ball. Nice D.
Very active. A lot of activity so far early in this game.
The possession arrow is with Army. Chambers is back into the game for Army. Tension now, in and out. Ball knocked away, and in transition, it's Parker. Almost lost the handle. He does get it into Colton Ray, though, with the white shirt. And Army back on the attack, and a foul. Lethbridge gave Chambers a little push.
Yes, Army is up and down right now, very active, trying to run offensively, aggressive offensively, seeking their shots.
Chambers misses the first free throw. Chambers did not score in last night's game. He was 0 for 2 from the free throw line, but he had a 12-point game, did Chambers, with a couple of triples against the Marines in the opening game of the tournament.
Haley comes back into the game for Terry Harris, giving their bigs a rest, rotating them, trying to match Air Force's size.
Tolliver, yes.
That's good basketball right there. Just a simple paint touch, draw and kick, wide open shot, in rhythm, catch and shoot.
Air Force has closed the gap to 3. Randall Haley in off the glass.
And as soon, good find by Eccles, but as soon as Haley gets back in the game, he's active on the inside, finishing underneath.
6 points and a couple of baskets for Haley in the early going. And look at that defense yet again.
Army elects to trap ball screens right now. They're very active, handsy, moving.
And not a good shot there for Tolliver. And a technical foul has been issued against Draylon Perkins. And so, not quite sure what happened.
I think Perkins and tension were getting into it. A little intense right now, as to be expected in a very competitive game, as both teams, again, try to put another win in the win column.
Officials talking about it. And so, while the officials sort this out, take a look at the standings, Joel. And the Navy men undefeated. They'll play Marines later. That should be a good game.
Yeah, hopefully the Marines make that competitive. The defending champions, gold medalists from last year, they got a lot of fight in them. I expect them to give Navy a run for their money.
Of course, the Marines will be looking for their first win of this tournament. They're the defending champs.
They are. We had Coach Mitchell on last night. Great coach, runs great stuff. I think he'll get the best out of his team today after an 0-2 start.
Micah Bonner has that Navy team firing on all cylinders so far through the first 2 games.
They really are. They have a lot of pieces who can hurt you. So the Marines, I'm pretty sure have scouted them and prepared for them and are prepared for them.
Donald Tension is at the free throw line to shoot the technicals. And Army having some free throw woes here in the early going.
Again, got to capitalize on those opportunities when you get a chance at these free points when the clock is stopped.
Just 2 of 7 in the game from the free throw line. Tension 1 out of 2. Army with a 6-point lead with the 11:43 mark, and Army will inbound in the front court after the free throws by Donald Tension. So this pace started out quickly, but it's kind of slowed to a crawl here.
Teams are settling in, getting the feel for one another. Great start.
Colton Ray from 3. Off the front iron.
If Colton Ray has daylight coming off a ball screen, that ball is going up.
Ooh. Parker, no. And how about that? Bowie with his first bucket of the game, and they did that despite being down in numbers.
Bowie called for the lob, a great bounce pass by Tension on the fast break. Way to convert.
Army with an 8-point lead. Austin Parker now working against Tension. And those double teams and a foul.
Army's doing a great job defending the ball screens right now, and their philosophy at this point is to show hard and trap.
That ball pressure, though, I mean, fouls notwithstanding, by Army has been suffocating for this Air Force offense.
It has. Air Force is a little bit back on their heels. Army is definitely the aggressor on defense.
So Parker has to come back into the game because Quincy Owens apparently had the wrong t-shirt on. He had a black t-shirt on under his uni. And by the rules, it has to be the same color as the jersey top.
Absolutely. We're playing NCAA rules for the Armed Forces Basketball Championship. So the good catch by the refs.
Traylon Perkins is going to go to the free throw line. Colton Ray picks up foul number 1. He had some foul trouble, did Ray, in last night's game. And after he sat for that period of time, he wasn't as hot as when he had to sit that extended period of time on the bench.
Colton Ray is too valuable to his team to get in foul trouble. Can't afford to get in foul trouble. His team needs him.
You see the foul right there. That's Perkins' first point of the game. Six-point lead for Army. 2 number 1s going at each other.
Absolutely, and Perkins was keeping up with him. Good full court pressure there by him.
The big man puts up a long shot, won't go. And Coach Darnell trying to do the official's job, and the official's like, hey, I got it. I got you.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Bowie stepped on the line. Great job by Haley, though, following the shot, getting the offensive rebound, kicking out to his teammates. Just an unfortunate turnover there.
Good D by Akeem Echols right there.
Army has extended the pressure to man. Again, very aggressive on defense.
Anytime you put that pressure at a full 94 feet, it's going to have impacts, right, on both ends of the floor?
It is, but when you extend pressure like that, you can't get beat and give up, transition opportunities. So we'll see how that works.
Nice to have a 6'5" point guard. Who hits shots like that?
Absolutely. Haley sets a solid screen, and again, Colton Ray going left. Any daylight, he's going to shoot the ball. Great shooter off the dribble.
Lead extends to 9 for Army. And a miscommunique there, and another turnover for Air Force. Air Force in a little bit of a danger area right here. You don't want to let this get away in the first half. And that shot was blocked. Nice job by Owens. And Akeem Eccles gets fouled on his way to the bucket.
Even on a miss, Army maintains the defensive pressure. It ends up in a steal, and there goes to the free throw line.
Jalen Tolliver with the hard foul, but that's 3 fouls on Tolliver. So the 6'6" forward from Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam likely going to have to take a seat on the bench here.
Yeah, one of their starters, one of their key players. So we'll see how that affects Air Force going forward for the rest of the half.
Eccles at the free throw line, and he makes the first. Eccles averaging 6.5 points a game. He's 7 for 9 from the free throw line in the tournament. Eccles had a tournament high 7 points against the Marines on the first day of this tournament. And he makes both free throws. Largest lead of the game for Army.
And with Army's defensive pressure extended full court, Air Force doesn't get to start their offense to about 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Tim Pierce working against Colton Ray, and Ray is not giving him too much daylight. And a shot clock violation for Air Force.
And again, starting your offense late in the shot clock like that leads to a shot clock violation. Great defense by Army.
Colton Ray and Coach Darnell of Air Force chatting it up. This game's intense, Joel.
It is. It's intense, competitive, but I think there's a mutual respect, obviously, among all the services.
Shot put up and down by number 10, Tyrone Beal, and we have not seen much of him in this tournament. He did not play yesterday. Beal is a Sergeant First Class out of Fort Liberty, North Carolina. And that is his first bucket of the tournament. Army with a 13-point lead. Lawson, no. Underneath for Owens, he can't get it. And it's Colton Ray splitting the double team to bring it into the front court. Shot up.
The advantage of having a big guard like Colton Ray who can get the board, push it. Great.
What a pass. Timeout, Air Force.
Colton Ray is a player. You have to expect a scoring ability, and when the defense commits, he finds his teammates for open shots.
Beal with the quick 4. Army by 15.
I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate, dominate. I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate, dominate. I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate, dominate. I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate, 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 dominate. I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate, dominate.
Back here at the Smith Fitness Center, 15 points for Army is the lead. They lead at 27-12. And right now, Joel, all the momentum is with Army.
Yes, Army has gotten off to a great start. They've extended this lead. They're extending their defensive pressure. They're really making Air Force work offensively.
Air Force out of the timeout to inbound, and full court pressure now by Army.
And it's working. Air Force is having a tough time handling Army's pressure.
Anthony Morris is in the game for the first time for Air Force, a staff sergeant out of Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. And a 10-second call, and things just going from bad to worse right now for Air Force.
And that's what pressure does. But the point guard there, and the team has to be aware that the 10-second count doesn't reset on an out-of-bounds play in the backcourt.
That shot missed, goes out of bounds, and it's Air Force ball. Who needs Gene Steratore? I got Joel Hines, man. He knows all the rules. I love it.
You're too kind, Dan, too kind.
Air Force into the front court in desperate need of a bucket. Lawson gets the shot blocked by Beal. Beal, the former D1 college player, making his presence felt. Chambers on the shot, in and out. And Air Force now with the 2-on-1 break. Can they finish? Parker. No. Quincy Owens, yes.
Great follow by Quincy Owens on the 2-on-1 missed layup. He was there for the putback.
Lead down to 13. Air Force needed that bucket. Last touch by Army. And Colton Ray comes back in, so Beal did his job in his short minutes, giving Colton Ray a break.
The former Bowie State and East Carolina product. Let's see if Air Force can start stacking good possessions. They converted last time. Let's see if they can do it again.
Lawson working against Haley. Turnaround jumper off the glass. Colton Ray all the way to the bucket and one.
Colton Ray has game. He can finish with either hand around the basket. He plays at a pace. He's very deliberate. Great player.
11 points for Ray. That's his first 2-point field goal. He's got 3 triples here in this first half. Quincy Owens gets the foul. Colton Ray at Coastal Carolina played 89 career games. He had 15 starts for the Chanticleers in the Sun Belt Conference. And a blocking foul. It's going to be called on Army, and that's going to be on Ray. That's his second.
Again, Ray has to be very cognizant of the fact that he has 2 fouls. Army cannot afford for him to get in foul trouble.
And he must have read Coach Walcott's mind, because he's going to come out of the lineup. Marvin Tucker, a specialist out of Fort Bliss, Texas, checks in for him. And that ball off the hands of Owens, but he's able to recover. And there is a turnover. 2-on-1 fast break. And the alley-oop. Good defense by Owens. But no stacking of good offensive possessions.
And even Ray off the bench imploring his teammate there not to go for the stylish play, but try to get the easy 2 points. Fortunate for Army, they get the ball back.
What would Coach Mitchell say? Make the championship play.
Absolutely.
Keem Eccles back into the game for Army, goes immediately to the glass.
Army is starting to settle in. They're clicking on all cylinders, offensively and defensively. Air Force pressing a little bit here. Leads to another turnover.
And Lawson pulled up. He might be hurt. He's off the court, and a turnover. But Lawson is hurt. He did not even come back on the court. He's actually walking behind us right now. And it might be a hammy, and that would be a big loss for Air Force.
That would be a huge loss. As we've seen in this first half, they run a good number of sets through Lawson. They like to play through him.
Tolliver comes back into the game. And Tolliver has to be careful. He's got those 3 fouls, Joel. Traylon Perkins, though, with some much-needed offense.
That was a big-time shot. Air Force desperately needed that 3.
5:13 to play, first half. Nice shot on the baseline for Bowie.
Great find by Eccles to find Bowie against that 3-2 zone. He found him in a diagonal pass in the short corner, and he drilled it.
Perkins wanted another one. That one won't go, but the rebound, but a foul. And is that on Tolliver? If so, that'd be 4. And don't look now. That's 4 fouls on Jalen Tolliver.
In the first half, that's huge, especially with Lawson going down.
Coach Darnell talking to the scorer's table. He's got 4 fouls. He's maybe in denial.
You know, it's one thing to depend on the official scorer, but perhaps he should have maybe someone on his bench also keeping fouls.
Ball goes out of bounds. So things have just not went the Air Force's way in this game. They trail by 17 points with 4:52 to play in the opening half.
Yes, Army's done a great job extending this lead. Colton Ray still on the bench getting very valuable rest.
And you don't have to rush him back in. Not with the way your D's playing.
Not at all.
Morris. And a turnover for Air Force.
Again, Air Force is just pressing right now. Unforced error, travel in the corner.
Open from the corner. And the rebound taken down by Leftridge. And he just overthrew Vinny Ortega. You mentioned it before as you get a shot there of Lawson. Hopefully he's going to be okay. But another unforced turnover for Air Force.
Absolutely, consecutive turnovers. Air Force is content on staying in this 3-2 zone. We'll see how Army attacks it.
Good ball movement. Ortega able to corral the rebound, and Air Force on the move, and that's going to be a foul on Randall Haley. He definitely gave a little bit of an elbow to Perkins there.
Little shove and transition defense by Haley there.
Friendly reminder that, hey, I'm here.
Absolutely. You can't miss him.
Haley has some fouls to give, but if you're the big man, I don't know if you guys want to give him away.
They're going to need his size against the size of Air Force. He's valuable as well to the Army team.
16 foul on Army. Next one will put Air Force into 1-1. Leftridge gets his first basket of the game.
And a much-needed bucket by Air Force as they try to chip away at this lead that Army has.
Army looking to increase that 15-point cushion. Shot on the way, and that was smooth from Randall James.
Big-time shot against the zone by James.
Traylon Perkins trying to answer. Clock approaches 3 minutes to play. 18-point advantage for the Soldiers.
Army doing a great job moving the ball both sides of the floor. Skip pass.
Eccles, but nobody there to challenge Haley on the putback.
Haley's all over the place. He's a great passer, but he's also attacking the offensive glass.
8 points for Haley, but Austin Parker with his second basket of the game. He's got 5. It's 39-21 Army. And Leftridge, even though that bucket didn't go in, that's a tough matchup.
Absolutely. Great move by Haley. Attempted to finish with the right hand as a lefty. Army gets it back again.
Bowie, this time, finishes. And it's a 20-point lead for Army. 1:49 to play here in half number 1. Ortega, nice pass to Leftridge. I don't know how Ortega was able to do that. He couldn't even see him. He just knew he was going to be there. That was a nice pass.
He did thread the needle there. Great vision by Ortega. And that was a great offensive possession by Army. Couple of screens set, turned down some shots, worked both sides of the floor. And that's what you have to do to be effective on offense.
These are just the third and fourth free throws of this first half for Air Force. Not a lot of opportunities. Leftridge has 2 points in the game, and he makes the first free throw. Leftridge averaging 5.5 points a game. Leftridge played 3 seasons at Troy University in the Sun Belt Conference for the Trojans. 46 games, 19 starts. 72% free throw shooter in college. Get this. In high school, he was the 4A State Player of the Year at Wilmer Hutchins High School.
That says a lot coming out of Texas. But Sunbelt is well represented. Troy University with Leftridge, Coastal Carolina with Colton Ray.
On the baseline, in and out for tension. Air Force trying to cut the deficit, and Leftridge gets a friendly roll.
Leftridge is a slasher. He gets in the paint. He has the ability to finish. He's long. He's a good player. Army screening the top of the 3-2 zone.
Coach tried to call a timeout for Army, and Air Force down with it.
Good trap by Air Force in the corner in their 3-2 zone.
And a whistle as Brad Boyd went to the basket. And so Boyd will head to the free throw line.
With 31 seconds left in the half, Colton Ray comes to the scorer's table, potentially for Army's last offensive possession of the first half. He got some very valuable rest.
Zachary Adair, a staff sergeant out of Joint Base Langley, Eustis, Virginia, checks in to the game for the first time in the tournament. Number 2 for Army. Chambers is back in as well for Army. Boyd made the first free throw. It's down to a 16-point lead for Army.
Coach can afford to go deep into his bench when you're up 16 points, playing well, they're active. It's a luxury to have right now.
And so valuable to just get everybody some playing time.
Absolutely. It's a long week. You're playing daily. These are intense, competitive games. Recovery is important.
The lead is 15. Barely any difference between shot and game clock. Adair definitely trying to avoid the double team. He throws it away. 2-on-1 numbers here. And Leftridge is going to put it in. And Air Force executes.
Absolutely. And Colton Ray was fortunate that was a no call. He easily could have picked up his third foul, but they go into the half with a 13-point lead.
So Air Force made a 7-0 run to end the half. Will that come back to help them in that second half? We will see. We'll tell you about the first half when we come back in about 14 minutes or so. Army 41, Air Force 28.
This time, told him let him money. This time, I'ma let him know money. Can't find love there on money. Yeah, money. Yeah, money. I can't take no breaks. Every game I'm never going MIA. Put numbers on the board when I play. Lift the trophy in the air, I can't wait. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. This time I'm all in.
Y'all walk with the big thing, been had the big face, shine with the big screen, been had the juice. Body gon' fill up the crew, black 10 low without the roof, might send out the truth. They're gonna like Mac, make love, over Shaq, going crazy, no whipping my how they got hooves. Watch how I snapping they neck, they so I don't need to respect, move, I act the fool. It's ludicrous, watch how I'm coming to your hate league team in the months. See, you got shooters, big time rolling up, but scanning, hit a new rack, John got it, they got in my shoes. All stay, get some insurance, running with a OG, get endurance, better control your breathing. Trash style, running over wax, got a pack in the back full of matches, I'm hot as a fever. Already veteran, I don't gotta ask, they gon' let us in, get on my leg. Spinning like a tank on E, hopping out, running down, no feet, baptizing the streets. Yeah, about the tighter than streets, I get it solo, dolo, YOLO, mic in the speaker. I've been killing on my own, I'm serious, going off the dome, I don't need a visa. Bump that, it's a check if I pull it, so cut that. If they come at me, cause I up that. Spirit got on my feet, can't trust that. I got gold on my soul and a mind full of diamonds, so 7-11 can't touch that. Can it come with a hammer, might bust back. But when I go in, they trust that, so they up that. Hold up.
I can't take no breaks. Every game I'm never going MIA. Put numbers on the board when I play. Lift the trophy in the air, I can't wait. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. Yeah, this time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. Yeah, this time I'm all in.
Tell them in the coffin, passed out from the pain in the morning. Put the work in, that's what my calling. Why they be stalling? I go for college like, there it is. Now we back again. I'm a product of my excellence that came with going in. Yeah. For the lows to the highs, I done seen it all. Never stand for the run, but I can't in talk. Now I'm finna pop off like a cannonball. Now what's the chance that I'm really in a cannon song? I'm really committed to hustle religious. I run into the point and no end of the fight with defending all of mine. Who'd you pretending I'm one in a million so we could never lose to a squad that be lazy, dog? That'd be crazy, dog. Blackmail really don't faze me, dog. Black man for the black out. If I run 100 yards, feel like shade, yeah. Look, I'ma hold it down 10 toes. I was made for it. I was made for it. Yeah, people try to tell me I'm a joke, but I was made chosen. I can't lose, baby. I've been ballin'. Shout out to the ones that got it started. I can't lose, baby. I'm an artist. Shout out to the ones that's going all in.
I can't take no breaks. Every game I'm never going MIA. Put numbers on the board when I play. Lift the trophy in the air, I can't wait. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. Yeah, this time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. Yeah, this time I'm all in.
41-28 your halftime score between Army and Air Force. Air Force, Joel, had a 20-point deficit, a 7-0 run to end that first half. So I'm sure if you're head coach Darnell from Air Force, you got to feel a little bit better about that, especially considering you kind of came out and got swarmed defensively by Army.
Absolutely. Some positive signs toward the end of the half, heading into the locker room for halftime. So hopefully they can continue to chip away at this 13-point deficit and get into single digits in the second half.
12 points for Colton Ray, leads all scorers for Army. Keeble Leffridge with 7 for Air Force. Traylon Perkins, who had a big night yesterday, 27 points, only 5 in that first half as we are underway. Josh Chichester gets his first bucket of the game.
4-high set there. Air Force establishing themselves inside early in the first possession in the second half.
Real question, did you check your fantasy stats?
I did, and I left some receivers on the bench who are having monster games.
Traylon Perkins into the front court with a head of steam. Can't get it to go. Chichester, though, he had it stripped away, and probably not a good foul there. So Chichester is going to pick up the foul. That's his first. Not quite sure if Lawson's going to return. It looks like he's wearing just a black T-shirt, so his return questionable, Joel.
That is a huge loss if Lawson cannot return, because, again, they like to run a lot of their offense through him.
We'll just say that was a long pass intended for Haley.
And Haley has been around the ball on the offensive boards there for putbacks.
10 points for Haley. Chichester underneath, just can't get it to drop. Colton Ray now in transition. Threw it up and drew the foul. Remember, Tolliver's playing with 4 fouls, but this one on Lethbridge. That's 3 for him.
And they're both key players. Even on a fast break, Colton Ray is so under control, still playing at pace, draws the foul. He's a very savvy player.
First free throw on the way is good. 2 for 2 at the free throw line in this game for Colton Ray.
Colton Ray got some very valuable rest in the first half with Army having a big lead. He should be fresh for this half.
Game high 14 now, and Army with a 15-point advantage. Air Force with some work to do, with a couple guys in foul trouble and an injury. It's Colton Ray with the pickpocket.
Again, Perkins dribbling to the corner, gets trapped, attempts to pass it in the middle of the floor, and the help defense gets the turnover.
And Akeem Echols commits the traveling violation. Marvin Tucker up off the Army bench to replace him pretty quickly. Just underway, second half at the Smith Fitness Center here at Fort Moore. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines, so glad you could join us on this third day of the 2024 Armed Forces Basketball Championships. And a missed shot for Air Force. Don't forget the Marine Corps and the Navy coming up.
On that play, their attention came down and attempted the skip pass when he had Colton Ray in the trail spot. Sometimes you have to swing it around the horn and go for the easy pass as opposed to the long skip pass there.
And Air Force trying to string together a few good possessions here. And Colton Ray down with the rebound. Bowie, baseline, in and out. And joining us here courtside is Micah Bonner, the head coach for the Navy men. You'll see him a little bit later against the Coast Guard. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
All right, all right. You're probably feeling pretty good with a 2-0 record.
This tournament can change at a drop of a hat. And so really you want to just stay disciplined and really treat each game one at a time. And so definitely happy to be where we are, but not satisfied.
So obviously a 2-0 record, but you had a really tough game yesterday against Army.
Those guys are so tough. They're so athletic, as you see on display against the Air Force today. They can just switch with multiple players and attack from different angles, and so that was definitely a hard-fought win.
Inbound here for Air Force. Shot put up, and that's going to be good for Quincy Owens. Just his second bucket of the game. Lead 13 now for Army with 17:05 and counting here in half number 2. Colton Ray with the basketball coach. What makes him so tough?
Well, Coach can score at all three levels. Coach's ability to stretch the floor from the three, but to also put the ball on the floor and get to the rim or get his teammates involved. He just has the whole toolbox.
Matt Doherty answers for Air Force with a 3.
That young man is special right there, dog. He is special.
And a foul. And if that's on left, well, they're going to call that on number 1. Nope, check that. Let's see. That's going to be on Doherty. So that's his first, and Ray back at the free throw line. Coach Ray, 29 points last night, a couple of triples, and missed some key free throws late. That hurt him, but they had you guys on the ropes.
They did, and and he sparked it. Even in the first half, when the game was, we had an extended lead, he kept them close by just attacking the rim and just putting constant pressure on us. And so he's a very dynamic player. He's a top 5 guy from a couple years ago, and so we knew we had a challenge on our hands trying to stick with him.
Second free throw up coming here for Ray, and he is a perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe here in the second half. He had 16 points in the game. So for Air Force, dealing with some just really tough ball control issues because the defense has been so good, Coach, as Doherty's shot in and out. Well, but how do you overcome that?
You really have to play with poise and be just mindful that there could come from anywhere. They double team, they get back, they help well. And so when you have the athletes that the Army has, you just really have to be disciplined and play good team fundamental basketball. A unique fact about number 11, Matt Doherty, who hit a 3 a couple possessions ago. He played on that SHAPE international team last year for me. He's one of the best shooters here at this tournament. And so it's only a matter of time before he gets going as well.
Doherty, a captain out of Ada, North Carolina. You see him put up the shot right there. And it's Ray down with the rebound. And look at that outlet pass, Coach. You like that?
I love it. That young man, they call him Turbo, number 1. His defense last night on Ryan was outstanding. And he's also applying that same type of pressure on Perkins today. When you have a guy that's dedicated on the one side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball like that allows you to do so much. So Coach Swain is definitely lucky to have a dynamic player like him.
Jamal Lawson with those points for Air Force. Good to see him back in the lineup.
Absolutely. He's a huge piece for them. They run a lot of their offense through them as Colton Ray does what he does and finishes with the and one in the lane.
18 points now in the game. And, Coach, it's scary how fast it just all of a sudden, dude's on fire.
He is. He's extremely dynamic, and he has some things to prove this year. Last year at the tournament, he hurt his foot, and so he played last year's tournament hurt. And so having the opportunity to come back and display who he really is, who he showed himself to be a couple years ago, he's excited about that. Great young man, great officer in the Army, and so not just a special basketball player, but a special person as well. Actually just had, him and his wife just had a baby, and so congrats to Ray on that as well.
Wow, congratulations to the first lieutenant out of Joint Base San Antonio, Fort Sam, Houston. And right now, he's got his Army squad up 17. That shot for Tolliver won't go. It's really interesting, Coach, how he's able to play point guard at 6'5", so, adeptly.
No, he is. He's a high IQ. And so when you're dealing with someone And to win at this tournament, having someone like a Colt, like a Ryan on our team, those guys allow you to just do so many things and play so many different types of lineups.
Tim Pierce for Air Force whistled for the foul there. That's his first 15th foul on Air Force here, 5+ minutes into this second half. And so Army to inbound, and Bowie right there. He's not afraid to mix it up in the paint.
He's not. He's made a lot of tough baskets, and he takes on the best guard assignment on the defensive end, and so, he's special. Great play again by Coach. That's what your leaders do. That's what your elite athletes and special players do right there.
And that's 4 fouls on Leftridge. So Leftridge and Tolliver now with 4 fouls. So, Coach, let me ask you this. With 15 minutes left in a game and you're down big, how do you address this when you got 2 really key players with 4 fouls?
Well, we dealt with a little of that last night. We had some key guys with foul trouble. And so from a standpoint, hopefully at camp, we've been able to understand who can do what from your team and just demand on that next person to step up. And make sure they understand they don't have to be a hero, just do their job. That's it.
Turnover, and it's Bowie running the floor for Army. Throws it up off the glass, too strong. And Draylon Perkins will stop and pop.
He's tough. He's a tough guard. I've seen him on the military circuit when I would go around and scout players on the Navy, but just seeing him at those tournaments, I knew it was only a matter of time before I saw him here at the Armed Forces tournament.
Perkins with 7 points in the game. Ray in and out. That was a contested shot, Leftridge in his face. And Perkins goes in, but he's going to get that ball swatted away by the veteran Randall James.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's applying pressure, but the Army, like I said, they're so athletic. They gang up on the defensive end and make sure that everything is difficult for you. They also gang rebound, and so they're a hard team to deal with. I have no doubt that they're going to be something to deal with for the rest of the tournament.
So timeout on the floor. We're going to take a quick one as well. 13:32 left in the game. Army 56, Air Force 39.
Hey, I'm going out of legend. When you hear my name, you gon' respect it, cause I did it every time that I said it. Boy, I'm going out of legend. I've been working 24/7. They ain't give me nothing easy, so I had to go and get it. I'm a legend. They gon' try to act like we ain't had it. They can't overlook the way we made it happen, so I'm going out of legend. That's why I'm going out of legend. Yeah, I'm going out of legend. Hey, yo. Homie, if I don't get a blue face bill, I never kick it like a Liu Kang hill. I'ma grind, no matter the repertoire. It's a true great skill. Never mattered, homie, you hate still. But I'm a legend, I'm not running.
17-point lead for Army here in the second half. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines, and Micah Bonner, the head coach for the undefeated 2-0 Navy men's squad, who will take the court in the last game of the day to take on the Coast Guard. They've got a couple of good players, Coach. Chris Harris, John Carter. You got your work cut out for you.
Oh, man. I can't even tell you how great those guys are. I scouted to recruit John Carter when he was at the Naval Academy, and it kind of broke my heart when he decided to go to Marine Corps, but they're very fortunate to have him. And Chris Harris is a legend of our game. He's a legend. He keeps getting better each and every year. So Chris Harris is one of those guys like a Colt and like a Ryan, where he can just do anything he wants on the court and make everyone better.
Josh Chichester and Randall Haley locked up in a big guy battle.
Haley's tough. Haley's truly tough. And so dealing with him on both sides of the ball is always a challenge, but this young man for the Air Force, he's a load as well.
Josh Chichester, an airman first class out of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in South Carolina. And he makes the first free throw. I don't know if you probably do know this, but He was a tight end on the Louisville football team with Teddy Bridgewater was the quarterback.
Wow, I did not know that, and I'm not surprised. I mean, this young man is still special. He has great touch, great soft hands, so I would imagine he was catching touchdowns left or right.
Chichester puts in the second one. Hit a touchdown pass in the Beef O'Brady's Bowl.
Oh, okay, all right. Hey, I love to hear it. I love to hear it. That's why he has that physicality down there. He's tough.
56-41 the score. How about that guy?
Hey, his athleticism is elite. So when he's coming downhill like that, you have to be ready for something spectacular to happen. That was amazing.
And a quick timeout called here with 12:54 to play. It's a full timeout, so we'll take it as well. Army.
I can't take no breaks. Every game I'm never going MIA. Putting numbers on the board when I play. With the trophy in the air, I can't wait. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. This time I'm all in.
Y'all walk with the big thing, been had the big face, shine with the big screen, been had the juice. Body gon' fill up the crew, black 10 low without the roof, might send out the truth. They're gonna like Mac, make long over Shaq, gon' crazy, no whipping my all they got hooves. Watch how I snapping they neck, they so I don't need to respect, move, I act the fool. It's ludicrous, watch how I'm coming to your hate league team in a month. See, you got shoes.
Air Force has cut the lead down to 13 here. Army is led by as many as 20 points in this game. Coach, Air Force had a 7-0 run to end the first half. They were down by 20. How important is it when your team does things like that?
Well, it just shows the fight. In this tournament, you're going to see several of us have leads where it looks like we're in control of the game, but just you could just tell how much the other teams want to win, want to represent their service, and so it just gives you a boost of energy when people fight back like that.
Air Force with a good defensive stop there. Trying to make something happen, and
there he is again.
Put a cape on him as much as he's flying around here in the second half.
Like the combination of Superman and the Incredible Hulk. Good defense.
How about Chichester with the big block?
Air Force is much more active on the defensive end here in the second half.
And a blocking foul is going to be called on Colton Ray. Could not get there in time. Train was rolling down the tracks.
Man, he's coming. Like I said, Hulk smash, he's coming down. AP he's very dynamic, and the open floor is, it's his first tournament from what I could tell, and he's something to deal with in that open floor.
Parker is originally from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, stationed at Ramstein Air Base, Germany. He's got that YouTube fame, dunking over Navy students.
Yeah, he the video started to surface, and Air Force caught wind of it. I was hoping that he was a Navy guy out there so that I could recruit him there. You know, we're always looking for great talent, but awesome to see him here and be able to translate that to an opportunity on the All Air Force team.
So today, you know, you play the late game, but throughout this tournament, the game times change. So how do you adjust for that as a coach with just the different tempo? Sometimes you may play the late game, and then tomorrow you got to play earlier.
Yeah, it's a challenge. You know, one of the things that I preached all camp and into this week is that adversity is going to come in all kinds of forms. And the time of the game is just another avenue and another way that adversity is thrown at you. So just from a coach's standpoint, managing their health, managing their schedules allows for them to hopefully be ready to play when that happens to us this week.
Could you have the quick turnaround tomorrow?
We do. Playing a late game against a really tough, well-coached Marine Corps team, and then coming right back for that second round against the Air Force, knowing that there's going to be adjustments made by each team as we get to see each other and we understand what players are capable of doing. And so that second round is going to be about who can persevere through the fatigue and who can make the proper adjustments the second time you see everyone.
And Joel, right now, Air Force starting to stack some stuff together. They trailed just by 11 here.
Again, a chance to cut it to single digits here by stacking good possessions.
Chichester with the 3, but not able to convert. And Army on the run. Tension, 3-ball. And Chichester with another big rebound for Air Force. Brad Boyd this time. Ooh. And Haley down with the rebound. So getting open looks.
Absolutely. Even though he missed that shot, that was a great rhythm 3 on the kickout from the post.
No, I agree. They're getting the looks they want. You know, as this tournament goes on, those legs start becoming a factor. And so you want to make sure if you're going to take a 3, you get a look like that.
Colton Ray draws the foul from behind. Not the best percentage play there.
No, it was not. It was definitely not. But Army is just still so tough. Air Force is going to definitely make their runs, and in order to do that, managing how you defend Colt is going to be a big part of that.
Air Force attempted to trap him on that ball screen. He retreated and found the open man with a great assist. He has a lot of confidence, plays with moxie, he's savvy, like Coach said, great basketball IQ. He's a real good player.
No, he is. First time I saw him was at a national tournament in San Antonio, and he was on the same team with Ryan McGee-Coleman. And so you would imagine that team did very well and won that tournament.
And a long shot put up by Pierce. Doesn't go anywhere. And out of bounds, last touched by Army. Haley with 14 points. He's got 6 in this second half.
Yeah, Air Force Energy's picked up though. Like
yeah.
they have really picked it up. You notice that in these games. You know, when you have that lead, something's tough. That's tough from a coaching perspective is getting your players to stay locked in and engaged when you have those big leads. When someone's crawling back and fighting back, so it's gonna be interesting.
Another whistle here. And Colt Ray fell out of bounds. We'll see who the call's on, and it's going to be on Brad Boyd, his first. And back to the free throw line for Colton Ray.
It's hard to keep him from being there. I mean, he's very, very, very crafty. He's smart. He plays under control. It may not look like he's under control sometimes, but he has this wit about him to be in the right spots and to draw those fouls, and as we know, he knocks these free throws down at a consistent high clip.
78% in the tournament coming into the game, and that average is going to go nothing but up, Joel.
You know, Colton Ray, just to piggyback on Coach's point, he does a great job controlling the flow of the game. Great floor general for his team. Always active, always talking, always communicating with his team, even the benches sometimes, putting guys in position.
Second one on the way is good. Eight of 8 from the free throw line in this game for Colton Ray.
There he is. There's that guy.
15-point lead for Army. And save for Bowie and an offensive foul.
Great play by Ortega, taking and writing the numbers in that defensive transition.
That's winning basketball, making plays like that, being willing to sacrifice your body and just do whatever you can for the team. I mean, we know he's a marksman from the outside, but getting those small wins on the defensive end help keep him on the floor. And so Air Force is definitely fortunate to have him.
So the lead stays at 15 for Army. Parker looking for Ortega. He wants the shot but can't get it. Parker to the rack, no. And a blocking foul. Haley whistled for the infraction. And that's going to be his fourth. And Coach, I mean, I'm looking up at the clock. There's still a lot of time in this game.
A ton of time. Coach Wayne is going to have to really manage his players going down the stretch, and that's something that me and him both dealt with last night in our game, to where we had some key players in foul trouble. So that experience last night should help them, but nothing helps you if you don't have Big Haley on the floor. Not having him on the floor is going to really change the way they have to play.
Parker hits the first free throw. The coach's best friend, points without time going off the scoreboard, right?
Yeah, like you said on the broadcast last night, unless you have the lead and you're trying to get the clock to run out. That was a great comment by you last night, because I was on that other end wanting that clock to run out.
Yeah, it's always like the tale of two sides.
It
right?
is. It surely is. But I loved that game last night, and this game right here is going to continue to build character. Army, they were in a tough battle with us last night, and now again being in a tough battle in Air Force. And so what you want to be is battle tested by the time you get towards hopefully your goal of being in that gold medal game.
Jalen Tolliver and his 4 fouls have just checked back into the lineup here with 9:16 to play. Coach, I want to talk academically for a minute, not really necessarily sides, but how important in your mind would it be if you're sitting at 1-1 to go into the second half of the double round robin at 2-1, vice 1-2?
Oh, it's just from a mental standpoint, your team just feels good about themselves. You feel like you truly have a shot. If you take that second loss, and now you really truly feel like your back is against the wall, as you see wins stack up for other squads. And so that 2-1 advantage just puts you in a great position.
Beal couldn't handle the basketball, and Air Force back into the front court. Trying to chip into this 14-point deficit. 8:44 to play, still time to do it. And Tolliver just can't get it to go. Nice job by Lethbridge, but Army is down with it, and then a foul. And if that's on Lethbridge, that's it.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
And that is going to be foul number 5. And Lethbridge has fouled out of this game, gents, with 7 points all in the first half. But his afternoon is done.
Yeah, no, that's a tough blow to lose him. He's an amazing athlete, an energy guy. And so having someone that generates second opportunities on the offensive end, it's going to be tough for them going down the stretch.
And you saw that foul right there. And so at the free throw line is Marvin Tucker, and he sinks the first one. Tucker had 6 points in last night's game.
He had a big 3 at the end of the game to keep it close for them, to draw it within 3, like I think a 2 or 3 point game. And so they got contributions from all over the floor last night, and that's what you want as a head coach.
62-46 the score, Army with the lead. And we talked about it, but sometimes players having to sit on the bench as that one rims in and out. But players having to sit on the bench for a long time. Colt Ray, unfortunately for him, when he came back in after that long, he just wasn't as sharp as he was.
No, it broke his rhythm up. We did an excellent job trying to not just attack Colt, but just not settle for jumpers. To put the pressure on them as they were applying pressure to us. And so we were very fortunate as he was gaining so much momentum to get him in a little bit of foul trouble.
Chichester misses the first free throw. This is kind of the stage of the game where you got to have them.
You saw it on both sides. Army missed some last night, and then we also missed some that could have just iced the game. And so here it's going to be very key, especially as Air Force tries to catch up, that they knock down free throws.
Donald Tension, smooth looking shot.
He's tough. You don't ever want to let him get going, because once he sees one go in, the next 3 or 4 could come after that.
And just like that, back to a 19-point lead for Army. Exactly 8 minutes to play. Back after this. Army with the 19-point lead here, 8 minutes to go. And Coach, we were talking during the timeout how Army sensed Air Force's momentum and said, hey, time to put the foot on the gas pedal.
Oh, yeah, they most certainly did. They ratcheted up their intensity, their communication. You see them flying to the ball. And so Air Force is really going to have to take their time and get good possessions.
Parker can't connect. And it's Colton Ray with the no-look pass, but that shot was blocked. I saw you talk to Colt before he went back on the court. What did he say?
He's always very respectful. We always talk basketball, we talk family, and so he just came over to show me a little bit of love, and I told him how I appreciated his performance and his ability to play the game. I just really appreciate good basketball no matter which team it's coming from.
Quincy Owens with the bucket. He's got 6 in the game. Scores 67 to 48. But after a 29 performance last night, he's got 23, does Colton Ray here in this game. Tension takes the shot, rebounded by Bowie.
There's Bowie again being very active, ball hawking, offensive rebound. He has a knack for the basketball.
He surely does. Man, when you're talking about having just hard hat type guys on your team, he's one of those guys. And so he plays winning basketball, and he allows someone like Colt to be able to focus on the offensive end and not have to take those tough defensive matchups. You know, I tried to do the same thing for Tyler Nelson last night, and we had to kind of put Tyler on Colt because Colt was just applying too much pressure, and that size became a struggle for us.
Ray tried a 3 there, goes out of bounds. The ball will stay with Army. There's some good big men in this tournament.
Wow, tell me about it. There, whether you're talking Big Haley, we got tight ends that play with Teddy Bridgewater out here. You know, it's tough. You know, and fortunately, I have two solid ones myself. Had a nice little breakout game for Dakota Ayala last night to kind of catapult us to a victory. And so it's an excellent play from the front court. And this young man right here, Q, he might be a little undersized, but you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. He's dynamic on both ends of the floor.
8 points for him, 6 in the second half. A 17-point lead, and Brad Boyd with the pickpocket of Ray, and left-handed lays it up and in.
Air Force is starting to get very active on the defensive end. There's no quitting any team here. So it'll be interesting to see if they can make it a game in the last 5.5 minutes.
Quincy Owens. Doherty gets the foul, but Coach Darnell told me that his philosophy is 94 feet of hell, and he expects his guys to go hard all 40 minutes.
Oh, that's an outstanding philosophy, outstanding thought process coming in here. You don't want to allow guards to get comfortable. And so applying that pressure, Coach Doe is on the right track. It's really exciting to see him and to see Coach Wayne as 2 first-time head coaches here at the Armed Forces level, bringing some of that new blood and that new energy to the tournament. And so I'm excited for both of them to see what they do here and moving forward.
Doherty with 4 points in the game at the free throw line. And again, 5:40 to go. 14-point lead. Stranger things have happened.
They do. You know, it's one of those things where, as a coach, being here, you know that no lead is safe. And so I imagine this pace that Coach Wayne has he's going through his mind of what kind of adjustments he can make to help his team, you know, as they try to close this out. And from the Air Force side, what kind of chaos can we create to create some baskets when that clock isn't moving?
Baseline, that shot was blocked. Another nice job by Air Force defensively, and a turnover.
Air Force did a great job extending their half-court pressure, but you can't compound a great defensive stop by turning the ball over.
Brad Boyd making his presence felt over the last few possessions offensively.
Most certainly has. Offensively and defensively, he's the head of the snake right now.
Down to an 11-point lead. Haley can't get it to go. No foul call. He wanted it. And another turnover. And a kick ball.
Air Force is utilizing half-court, three-quarter court zone pressure. They've forced 2 turnovers out of it, but unfortunately they've given the ball right back in valuable possessions that this game could be potentially a single-point game.
You're right. You're right about that. Value in possessions will lead to being able to actually trim this lead and get a great shot every time.
Full timeout. We'll take it as well. Army up by 11. Don't look now, but Air Force has cut the lead back down to something that's manageable over the last 4:48. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines, and Coach Micah Bonner of Navy. And we were talking during the timeout, but still a lot of time left in this game. And Air Force has done a really good job over the last few minutes.
They have, and they have a bounce in their step right now. The activity has increased. Their defensive prowess has increased. They're trying to trap and create easy opportunities, but unfortunately, Army got through right there.
Eccles with the basket for the Soldiers. Brad Boyd, and that was a turnover.
And as they're trying to get back in the game, again, valuing the basketball. I know it's redundant, but it's very important to not take any possession for granted.
It's just solid all the way around. Akeem, he's another guy that I've watched on the Armed Forces level and at the national level as well, and he just makes winning plays. He's always in the right spots. He's always using his mind and his body to bully smaller players, and so you love to have a guy like Akeem on your team at any point.
Eccles with 6 points in this one. It's been averaging 6.5 points a game during this tournament. 2 for 3 at the free throw line. Make it 3 of 4. And Army extends out to 14 points their advantage. Doherty for 3. Off the back iron, and now numbers. Donald Tension with a nice pass right to Bowie.
Showtime. There it is. They did what they do best. When you let them out in open floor, that's what happens.
And a foul from behind, and that is going to be a foul on Tolliver. As you see the dunk on the trail. That makes your coach's heart swell with pride over there.
Man, I mean, like, when you see something like that, it takes away some of that energy from the other team. And so, as a coach, I know Coach Wayne is happy to see his team get out and do what they do best.
So with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left, both Tolliver and Leftridge are out of the game, and so that bench is starting to get really tight, Coach.
It does. You lose a lot of your energy and your rebounding. I mean, Tolliver is an amazing athlete, energy guy, goes to the basket well, and so they're going to really be struggling. I mean, you still have AP, so you still have an athlete out there, but as the week goes along, man, those bodies, you need those guys to play the entire game.
And Coach Darnell is having a conversation with the scorers table, I think, about his timeouts.
They're very valuable. They're very valuable. Being able to either give your team a break or to stop a run or to put in a strategy. So I understand a little of his frustration.
Doherty puts it in for Air Force.
Yep.
No choice now but to put some more pressure on Army.
Absolutely. The pressure's speeding them up right now.
It is. No, it is. You're right. I mean, it's one of those things where, in addition to the pressure, just that fatigue, that mental fatigue, and so it's going to be adamant on Army to take their time and get good possessions, and for Air Force to apply that pressure so that they can get more possessions.
Haley working against Quincy Owen. We haven't talked a lot about Haley today as he's got the basketball there, puts it up, doesn't get the shot to go, but he's had a nice day, 15 points. Perkins with the pass, and that's going to be Parker putting it back in for Air Force.
Parker with a strong finish. He's a man on the inside.
Air Force just can't seem to get over that hump of that 10-point barrier. And a foul offensively away from the shot.
There's your guy again, Ortega, taking a charge.
I think coaches call them glue guys, right?
Man.
It doesn't work without them.
It does not. It does not. You need guys to do the little things. We all love the scores and folks that do the spectacular dunks, but without the folks who take charges, set screens, dive for loose balls, cheer on the bench, you wouldn't be a winning program or a winning team without that.
Plays that don't necessarily show up in the box score, but are still winning plays.
And those are my favorite type of players, I will lie to you. When I played, and not to get too deep into it, scoring was easy. And so having someone that would set a screen or crash the boards or take charges as a teammate, it was like, thank God we have that guy on our team so I don't have to take a charge. These guys are strong.
Air Force to inbound here. Under 3 minutes to play. Army with the 13-point lead, and that shot blocked, but a foul. And that's going to be on Haley, and that's it for him.
That's it. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. You want him to be smart in that situation, but he's a competitor. Giving up an easy basket is nowhere in his mindset. And so while you want him on the floor, you understand competing, and sometimes you take those risks as a coach. I had Bobby Miles go in with 3 fouls and get a quick fourth one last night. And so you sit back, I'm watching the broadcast and the replay, I'm like, man, that's a crazy decision, coach. But thankfully it didn't bite us too bad last night.
That old 2020, right?
Oh, man.
Hindsight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First free throw goes down for Quincy Owens. Haley's night is done, 15 points. Army with a 13-point lead here.
Even with 2:50 left to go, still a lot of time to chip away at this 13-point lead that Army has.
Missing those 2 free throws is going to make it tough.
Bounce pass, let's take it away. Ortega right in the middle again, as usual. Doherty going hard, and a foul on the floor.
We called him the machine that shaped USA last year because Matt will come in and shoot pregame 3 hours before the game and puts up 500 shots. And so I enjoyed getting in the gym with him last year and just passing him the ball and just seeing him work.
Doherty a perfect 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. 8 points quietly in the game for him, but again, another one of those guys you need.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make it 9.
His coach calls him Cyborg. He texts his teammates late at night, to get in the gym. He's a gym rat, so he's very dedicated to his craft.
He is. I can verify that. Those are facts.
12-point lead for Army. Bowie. Owens with the rebound. Air Force got to get up quick shots here.
Oh, that's a big shot. Ooh, great hustle.
Air Force getting some second chance opportunities. There's Perkins and a foul. And the clock stops with 1:53 remaining.
If you're Coach Dole, you're happy with the energy that your team is bringing. You're happy that they're not settling always for the jump shot and that they're attacking the rim.
You see the foul there by Bowie. That's going to be his fourth. Time has become a factor, though.
It is definitely a factor. You know, when you get to that 2-minute mark and you're down double figures, the possessions really start getting limited, especially depending on how the other team decides to play it.
Perkins with 8 points in the game. He had 27 points against the Marines yesterday. 3 triples, 6 of 7 from the free throw line.
Most certainly a coming out party for him. He played mostly defense that first game against us, but man, you saw the potential even in the game against us opening up the tournament.
Yeah. And you talked about it, Coach, with a lot of these players trying to come here and trying to play within the team construct, but also trying to figure out, hey, how can I make the all-tournament team? How can I make the all-armed forces squad? How do you manage that as a coach? How do you manage expectations?
So, just speaking for the Navy guys, I communicate that, you know, the USA team is looking for guys that can not only do their job, but can play with others. And so you're not looking for the 12 best scorers to make the USA team. You're looking for guys that make winning plays. So you're going to see those shooters and those dynamic scorers on there, but you're going to also see those rebounders and those glue guys and the folks that can play with high basketball IQ. So if you do your job, you do what you do best, you give yourself the best opportunity to win. When you get outside of what you try to do or try to be a hero, then you make yourself look bad and you hurt your opportunity to play on the USA team.
Still a fine line, I suppose.
It most certainly is. It's tough. And so hopefully from a player's perspective, you stay within character. You stay within what you do best, with what your coach is asking you to do. And I think that's the way that you give yourself the best opportunity.
Timeout on the floor is over with 1:53 to play. 11-point lead for Army. Need a big stop here. Like the approach, Coach?
Yeah. Ooh. Most certainly, that kid is dynamic and he can shoot the rock.
That was a big-time shot in that situation.
It surely was.
Donald tension with the bucket and a foul. That foul is going to be on Akeem Eccles. That is his third. And so the clock will stop with 1:25 to play, and Matt Doherty will go back to the free throw line.
Well, while we had a big shot by Army coming back down, you know, they were applying their pressure. Looked like they had Matt bottled up, but just kind of bailed him out with the foul. And so it's not a terrible strategy that they had, but you want to make sure you play great defense without fouling.
Mr. Reliable at the free throw line here in this second half.
We've called Doherty and Ortega's name a lot in the second half, doing everything they can to try to get their team back in this game.
And it's that 10-point jinx. Air Force they get all the way up there, and then they just cannot break that 10-point barrier for some reason. It's just been a curse for them today.
It has been, but, you know, it's not for a lack of effort. I mean, the energy that they brought, especially this entire second half, just takes so much out of you. And so as you try to come back, it makes things difficult. But credit to Army. Timely shots, timely defense, and playmaking by their dynamic player Colt and some of their other guys.
Eccles missed the first free throw. The foul was on Doherty. And 0 for 2 on that.
Tough.
So a break for Air Force. Doherty again, and he gets his shot blocked from behind, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Colton Ray. I believe that's 4. No, that's 5.
Oh, wow.
I missed one, but his day is done with 1:15, and Jakari Chambers is up off Army's bench. So we'll see how this last 75 seconds unfolds without Army's top scorer.
Yeah, that, you know, people will step up. You never want to lose a coach from your team, but it's not a one-person team. They have some dynamic guys, and they still have some dynamic scorers and defenders in there. And so Coach Wayne will kind of coach them up and make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. And the Air Force, they're at that 10 mark. Let's see what happens this trip.
Huge possession and a steal. Parker lays it up and in. And on the other end, Darian Clinton with his first bucket of the tournament. Back to a 10-point lead.
What a way to get your first bucket on a big slam.
Doherty for three, in and out. And last touch by Parker. Got to have quick stops and quick buckets.
That's it, you know, and Air Force is selling out completely, and when you do that sometimes you have those opportunities to score. Kind of similar to what Big Matt Sellers running the floor last night at the end of the game. And so we'll see. Oh, nice steal there. He's tough. Perkins is very tough.
And it's down to a 8-point game with 39.6 seconds. And now the officials are going to come together and have a conversation. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout on the floor. We'll come back, get you set for the final 39 right after this. Army leading by 8.
To the clock because it didn't stop on the made basket under a minute. The officials rectified that situation.
Hey, if you're Air Force, you like to see that, right?
You do. You love to see it. Every second counts. Every second counts. I mean, and who knows? Who knows what could happen? A quick steal or some missed free throws, and you could be right back in the game. Going to be adamant on Army. Just take care of the ball and knock down the free throws, and they should be able to bring this game home. But you just never know in today's game.
If you're Coach Doe over there on the Air Force huddle, what are you guys talking about?
Well, as we're still, for me, since we're still in the first round of games, get it as close as we possibly can because we play these guys again, and you want to be able to win that tie break. So even if you can't win this game, you want the score to be as close as you possibly can so that when you see them the second time, you can beat them by hopefully more than they beat you. And so it's very key to reduce that score from 8 to 6 or 5 to make it more manageable when you see them again.
A 3-possession game, theoretically. Still time for Air Force to win this.
It is still time. I'm still coaching one possession. Hey, let's get one defensive stop, and then let's get that ball back.
Marvin Tucker misses the dunk. Tension now, picks it up. And Air Force tried to foul, but Army calls the quick timeout.
So as a coach, I'm probably not happy with my team right now if I'm Coach Doe, just because, hey, if we don't get that quick steal, we have to foul because we have to get as many possessions as possible. Now, at a certain point, because it is a point spread system, you don't want to foul and continue to make that lead balloon, but you want to take that quick opportunity to get a steal or foul to keep the game extended as long as you can.
And a lot of valuable seconds ticked off the clock there.
And again, the clock is on the Army side right now, the time and scoring situation. And especially like Coach said, if you don't get that initial steal out of your pressure, get the foul, at least sprint back. You don't have, leak outs and fast breaks.
But Air Force has clawed back and made it an interesting one here at the Smith Fitness Center. Final 26 seconds.
Air Force electing not to foul right now. Shot clock is low, so we'll see how this works out.
Tucker for 3. Missed everything. And a stoppage here. And they're going to bring the ball back. So you can definitely see the coaching is about the point spread.
Yeah, it's one of those things at a certain point. It's a fine line, you know, and you want your team to continue to fight, but you want to also play smartly. And so Coach Doe went with playing good D, and it worked out for them. They got an air ball and a miss, and hopefully with this 10 seconds they can bring that lead a little bit closer for them for that point spread at the end of the day.
All right, as we get ready to close this one out, Coach, maybe your initial keys to the game against the Marine Corps men who you're going to see in a few hours.
Oh, wow. So when we're talking about the Marine Corps, it starts with their coaching staff, Coach Brandon Mitchell, who was not only an All-Marine but an All-USA guy. And they have other All-Marines on their coaching staff that have probably set a tone of hard work. Kind of mentioned that a little bit before. We have a brand of basketball that we want to play, and whether it's the Army or definitely the Marine Corps, if you fall into their hands of the up and down game, they can put a lot of pressure on you, especially with the dynamic scores that they have.
Doherty gets a quick bucket for academic sake, 4 seconds, tension, and he's just going to dribble it out, and it's a 6-point win for Army. They win 78-72. Coach, we had a great time with you.
Oh, thank you guys for having me, man. It's been a pleasure listening to you guys. I'm so appreciative of what you're doing here for the players, the exposure that they're able to get, how you guys are highlighting the things that they're doing, not just for the players, for the coaches, but I'm a players guy. I played in this tournament. I had several opportunities come from it, and so thank you for allowing me to be on your platform and experience it from this side.
Colton Ray with another 20-plus point effort for Army. They improved to 2-1. Air Force falls to 1-2. That's going to wrap up our game coverage. Don't forget the Marine Corps and Navy women and men are coming up next. For Coach Micah Bonner, my partner Joel Hines, and our entire Second Audio Visual Squadron crew, I'm Dan Hawkins. See you in a bit.